Welcome to the Leverton on Everything podcast. I'm Leverton, and this is Everything, a daily podcast where I review literally everything in under 10 minutes. Today, I am going to review the Murdaugh murders, a Southern scandal. I gave it 8 out of 10 stars, and I said it's an interesting watch. If you know nothing about this case, this series will take you on a strange ride. My takeaway from it is that the law needs to be equally applied to everyone, and when you start to bend the rules for someone because they have a privileged position, they will continue to bend as many rules as they can, and tragedy will likely happen. It's hard to talk about this series without describing what happened, and while these events are public knowledge, I think it wouldn't be fair for me to explain the events before somebody watches it. I will just say that if the rules had been taken seriously by the people in this community, most notably the police and the legal establishment, it's possible that at least 4 people would be alive and one probably wouldn't be sitting in prison right now, or at least he wouldn't be sitting in prison, or at least he would be sitting in prison for a different crime. It's a well done documentary, so I recommend it if you're interested in true crime. And I think unfortunately now what's happening in the United States is exactly this situation. So you have a president who is clearly corrupt, more corrupt than normal politicians, corrupt and incompetent and just bad in various ways. But I think what's happening is people are supporting him because of this idea that the rules should be applied differently for different people. So what I mean by that is like he's getting rid of birthright citizenship and like they want to be able to interpret rules which benefit themselves. They want to interpret rules in a way that benefits them the most. But I think when you do that, when I have a problem when rules are not applied fairly to everyone. And I think when you kind of make exceptions, like with taxes, I mean, it's a less serious example, but I think the problem with modern taxation is there's so many exemptions. So if you have a big enough legal team, like these big corporations do, you can find ways to completely avoid paying taxes. So I think taxes should be very simple. You should have to pay them, whether you're like a private individual or a corporation or whatever. And it should be like, I don't know what percentage, but X amount of percentage, and that goes to fund what the government needs to fund. So I think laws should be the same way. They should be simple and not interpretable, or very, very little leeway for interpretation. So then you just need to prove if somebody has actually broken the law or not. But when the laws are kind of ignored, I mean, it's a different situation because laws in this situation are more like ignored and kind of, oh, he broke the law, but he's a judge or he's a lawyer or whatever. They come from a good family. It's okay, whatever. So I think that's when you kind of it's funny the same thing doesn't happen the other way. So for example, if you had 2 people who have committed a crime, and I think this series does a good job of like examining this fact, but if you have 2 people who are accused of a crime, one's a rich person and has, like a scholarship and, is going to go to Princeton, the other person, not academically gifted, a bit of a minor criminal, and they commit the exact same crime, the first one will be like, oh, he has so much to look forward to. His life will be ruined if he's convicted. And the other person is like, oh my God, how dare you do something so horrible? So, yeah. So basically money buys justice in America and other countries. And I think it's kind of weird because people always thought that America had like this great stable justice system, but it was only for like 20 years. Because you had segregation before then, so that's not justice. And then before that, you had like robber barons and stuff and slavery. So they had like a good justice system for like 20 years, and now it's dissolving. So it's just reverting back to the norm for America. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I hope people get angry and listen to this, but I don't think that they will. Because it's at the end of a planet of a review of a movie that is over 50 years old. But yeah, we never learn, basically, which is the point of this movie. Like, we never learned, like, you bastards! You bastards! You killed them all! Yeah. All right. One thing I'd like to recommend, I have. Oh, I did recommend that already. Never mind. Bye.